It's the news we've all been waiting for. It's the news we've all been absolutely sick to wait to hear these words. But Manchester United have agreed a deal with PSG for Manuel Ugarte. Before we get into that though, please do me one small favour. Smash a like on today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Currently, only 50% of people who watch our videos are subscribed. So if this is your first time watching, please do get involved. It's completely free content. Everyone is welcome. Let's get on straight on with it, shall we? I wasn't expecting to talk about this, to be honest. I was going to talk about Raheem Sterling. I was going to talk about Jadon Sancho. I wasn't really looking forward to the show. You know, it was all just a bit doom and gloom. And then literally out of nowhere, just as I'm about to go live, we get a big bit of breaking news. Now, this is coming out from Duncan Castles, who is a very, very reliable journalist in the UK. He's been around for about 30 years. And he is reporting in the last couple of minutes. There's loads and loads of people reporting this story as well, by the way. So it's not just Duncan Castles. We've got 5 or 6 other journalists all coming out of the same story. But let me just bring you the facts. Let me bring you the headline. And then obviously we can all discuss it as a community. But the headline is this. Manchester United have agreed a deal with PSG for Manuel Ugarte. The words that you wanted to hear. The deal is worth £42 million up front, plus £8 million in add-ons. All I'm going to do is applaud INEOS for this. Slow clap. Well done. Well done, INEOS. We've all been like, what are they doing? Why are they wasting so much time? Why haven't we signed him? We need him now. But what they have managed to do here is, remember, PSG were asking for 60 million euros. That was the fee. 60 million or nothing, 60 million or nothing. It was the same thing over and over and over again, right? Man United have managed to get him for 50 million euros, which is 42 million pounds, plus the add-ons. So overall, the package will look like 60 million euros on paper, okay? So when Sky Sports report it, they'll say Manchester United have agreed a deal for 60 million euros because it's 60 million including the add-ons. But as Duncan Castles reports, it's only £42 million up front, and then the rest of it is in add-ons. So if he doesn't perform well, those add-ons won't be paid. This has also now been reported by Sky Sports as well. It's been reported by ESPN in Uruguay. It's been reported by other top journalists in the last couple of minutes, saying that Manuel Ugarte is now set to fly to Manchester in the next couple of hours after Manchester United and PSG agreed a deal for £42 million plus £8 million in add-ons. I'm just going to say it now, right? Fair play to INEOS. Yes, he's missed the first 2 games of the season, but they've just managed to get Manuel Ugarte for only £42 million. And I think that's a really, really good deal. What was it before? They wanted 60 million euros, which is £52 million. They've managed to get about £10 million off the asking price. And we have to applaud them for that, because this time last summer, PSG paid £52 million to Sporting Lisbon plus add-ons for Manuel Ugarte. He was there for 1 season. I was talking to a PSG fan last night, and he said that apparently Manuel Ugarte is a quality player. And he said that the reason that Manuel Ugarte is leaving has nothing to do with him being a reject or being a flop. It's because apparently Luis Enrique wants a number 6 who's like a tick-attacker, kind of like a Rodri-style number 6. And he said that Manuel Ugarte is a little bit more aggressive. He's a little bit more like a bit crazy, if that makes sense. He's not very composed, which, we can talk about that a little bit further down the line. But I'm just really, really happy. I think we've got the player we wanted. We've got our number 1 target. We've got our number 1 target in every single position so far this summer, which I think is exactly what Manchester United needed. It's exactly what backing Erik ten Hag looked like. So yeah, I'm just really, really happy. So just to confirm, the story says that Manchester United agreed the deal last night. We saw pictures of Jason Wilcox flying on a private jet to Paris last night. There's pictures of that all over the internet. He boarded a private jet flying to Paris to go and hold what was being described as emergency talks with the PSG board. And now the story's coming out as saying that the deal has been agreed. £42 million up front, £8.4 million in add-ons, which takes it to a total of about £50 million total if all of the add-ons are paid. I've got no problem with that. I think 42 million is a really, really fair price. I think it's probably his market value. I can't really have any complaints. Now, anybody who watches this show regularly will know that I was a little bit hesitant about Manuel Ugarte to begin with. But I think for that price, I think it's a really, really good price, I think you can't really complain. And hopefully we have him for the game against Liverpool on the weekend. If he does his medical today, he can train tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. And then obviously the game is on Sunday. So he might get 3 days worth of training before the end of the working week. So yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing about this, but I want you to let me know in the comment section, how do you feel about this deal? Are you happy with 42 million? I'll do a little poll for those of you who are watching live, but obviously if you're watching back on repeat, you can let me know in the comment section. The question is going to be this: are you happy with paying 42 million for Manuel Ugarte? I just think, right, like, I don't think we've got like a deal. I think that's his market value. So I'm not going to sit here and say like this is the signing of the century. Well done, INEOS. Like, what I will say is, well done, INEOS, for managing to hold their nerve, stamp their feet in the ground, and say to PSG, we're not paying your silly asking price. We'll give you 42 million, take it or leave it. And we are literally 3 days away from the window closing. So they have left it pretty late. There was always the risk that, you know, PSG just turn around and say, we don't need to sell. Either you give us the money or you don't get your player. But Man United seem to have, you know, got around that. So yeah, 42 million pounds. Apparently he's going to travel to Manchester today. Hopefully we get pictures of him in the shirt and stuff, like probably tomorrow. Yeah, so Duncan Castles is reporting that he's doing his medical today. ESPN are reporting that he will fly to Manchester in the next few hours. Sky Sports are also reporting the same, that Manuel Ugarte is set to fly from Paris to Manchester in the next couple of hours. So yeah, it looks like this deal's gone ahead. And we know that Fabrizio's been talking about this one for so long. He's been regurgitating the same news over and over again about PSG signing Manuel Ugarte. So yeah, I am a little bit surprised, to be honest, that it wasn't Fabrizio or David Ornstein who broke this story. Other people have broken it. But just because it's not Fabrizio doesn't mean that it's not, you know, Fabrizio's literally drained every bit of life out of this story. He's been posting about it 5 times a day for the last God knows how many weeks and months. So Fabrizio knows that when he puts out the story, he needs to have every single detail 100% correct, because the world is looking at him, you know. Whereas these other journalists, like Duncan Castles, does stuff with David Ornstein, and, like, you know, he's a very, very reliable journalist. He doesn't put out random crap. So yeah, if it was like The Sun reporting that, you know, or like a newer journalist who's only got like a couple of hundred likes, obviously you just kind of ignore it. But when it's someone of his stature and someone who's been around for that long, and then obviously all of the mainstream media as well, you know, reporting the same story, that, you know, effectively the deal has been agreed after breakthrough talks between Jason Wilcox and the Paris Saint-Germain board yesterday. But let's see what people are saying in the comment section. How is everybody feeling? We've got over 2,000 people watching the show live now, which is amazing. If you could do me a small favour and smash a like, that would be really, really appreciated. And if you also are new today, please do subscribe. Once we hit 40,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away 2 Manchester United shirts. So the mood is good now. Let's all subscribe. Let's try and get to 40k by the end of this video. And then on this video, I'll give out 2 shirts. So why would you not do it? Go and subscribe if you haven't already now. But yeah, my thoughts on Manuel Ugarte, now that the deal has effectively been agreed, and now that he should become a Manchester United player. Obviously, he's still got to do his medical. Obviously, he's still got to, you know, do all the press shots and stuff. But I think from what I've seen of him, he's an absolute engine in that midfield. He's got, I remember Bielsa saying, obviously the old Uruguay manager, saying that he had 3 lungs, because he just can continually keep running and running and running and running, and he never gets tired. And that's what we need in that midfield. We've got Mainu who can do that, but Casemiro's just past it, isn't he? And this isn't, you know, me being negative about Casemiro. He's 32. He's been playing football probably all of his life at the top level, Casemiro, and now he's trying to do it in the Premier League, and I think he looks a little bit past it. Whereas Manuel Ugarte, he's still at the beginning of his career, you know. He's still got a very, very long way to go. He's only 23. He's 9 years younger than Casemiro, and I think what he'll bring to Manchester United is he'll bring a physical presence in that midfield. He'll bring an engine and a work rate in that midfield, which I think we have with Mainu, but we lack with Casemiro. And I think in recent games, Mainu's had to compensate for Casemiro's lack of energy and lack of, I don't want to say fitness, but he's just older, isn't it? It's just, you know, when you get older, like, he just doesn't seem as at it. But, you know, it looks like he's dropped a couple of stone in pace. He's not as mobile as he was before. Whereas Manuel Ugarte coming in is going to be absolutely unbelievable in that midfield. But yeah, I'll be interested to see how everybody's feeling about this one. Manuel Ugarte to Manchester United, £42 million. Lord Ashley says, are you going to do a watch along on your Twitter of his plane landing in Manchester? Oh, that would be good, wouldn't it? We could do that. No, I don't think I will do that. Al says, it isn't £42 million, though. Don't be fooled by the base fee. We've already got people upset about it. We get the deal that everyone wanted, and now people are already complaining that that it's not £42 million. It's £42 million guaranteed, plus £8.4 million in add-ons. Okay? PSG only get those add-ons if certain things are met. So I don't know why you're looking at it like that. If those certain things are met and we end up paying 8.4 million more, then that means that he's played lots of games. It means that we've achieved things, and I've got no problem with it then. The problem I had was giving PSG 60 million euros up front, like, when he might come and flop. Whereas, I mean, he still could come and flop. Obviously, that's a possibility. But at least we've paid his actual fair market value. And if he fulfills his potential, which I think he will, then I'm happy to give them their extra 8.4 million, you know? Like, no problem at all. But, yeah, that was my only issue. I just felt like... I felt a little bit like PSG were just trying to recompensate for the fact that they overpaid to Sporting Lisbon last summer, and that was why they were effectively saying to us, we want 60 million euros, because they knew that effectively that they'd overpaid last summer, and that was why they, you know, were doing that. But yeah, I don't really understand that, you know, like every deal has add-ons in it. Like, let's try and be positive about it. Let's try and, you know, but yeah, like, how does everyone feel at the moment? I just think it's such a good deal. I think we desperately needed signings. And we have got the here we go. I can see people in the chat who are like, oh, you're making this up. Guys, I don't put out stuff for clicks. I don't put out stuff that's fake. I only put out stuff that I genuinely believe is correct, right? We broke this story 10 minutes ago, right? Because a journalist that I think is reliable put the story out. What's happened now? 23 seconds ago, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed a here we go. So the here we go has happened. I know people are like, I can't see the here we go. Where is it? You're lying, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't. So let's do the Fabrizio, because people only seem to want to listen to Fabrizio. So Fabrizio Romano, 55 seconds ago, has said Manuel Ugarte to Manchester United. Here we go. There you go. There's the words. He says, deal sealed between the clubs after personal terms agreed in July. 50 million euros fixed fee, which is 42 million pounds. 10 million add-ons as well, which is 8.4 million pounds. He says that Ugarte will travel to Manchester as he only wanted United, and United only want him. He says, done deal. There you go. Let's all celebrate. Manuel Ugarte will become a Manchester United player. Fabrizio's confirmed it. Anybody who still thinks that maybe this is just, you know, make-believe land, we've also got David Ornstein. David Ornstein, last couple of seconds. Manuel Ugarte is now travelling to England today for medical ahead of joining Manchester United from PSG. Manchester United deal for the 23-year-old will be 50 million euros plus 10 million in performance-based add-ons. PSG initially wanted 60 million euros fixed fee, and Manchester United managed to negotiate it down. There you go. And the interesting thing here is, which I really respect from David Ornstein has credited Duncan Castles, who was the journalist who broke the story before anybody else. So we went live about 15 minutes ago after Duncan Castles broke the story, and people are like, it's not Fabrizio, it's not David Ornstein, it must be fake. I've told you before, Duncan Castles works with David Ornstein. They do podcasts together. Like, Duncan Castles doesn't put out clickbait. He doesn't put out fake stories. And you know what? I really respect David Ornstein for acknowledging in this story that it was Duncan Castles who actually broke the story. So yeah, we've got our player. It's a here we go. Manchester United have signed Manuel Ugarte. What does this mean for Casemiro? Hopefully it means that he's now on the bench, and hopefully it means, yeah, really, really happy about this. Oh, I just, it's just so exciting, isn't it, when you get a player over the line? But yeah, let me know what you all think, guys. We've got over 2,200 people watching. If everyone who is new today could subscribe, that'd be really, really appreciated. We're very, very close to 40,000 subscribers. So please go and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's try and get to 40k by the end of this video. I'm giving out 2 Manchester United shirts when we do that. Let's see what else people are saying. Andrew says, do you think we'll see Xerxes in the starting 11 on the weekend? I don't think he'll be in the starting 11, mate, to be honest. But I think we will probably see him on the bench, I imagine. Obviously, he's doing his medical today. He will probably train on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm not sure whether they'll train on Saturday. My guess is probably no. Obviously, we play Liverpool on Sunday. So he should have 3 days worth of training. I still think that it will be Casemiro against Liverpool, which I'm not particularly excited about, to be honest. But it is what it is. Maybe Manuel Ugarte does start. Obviously, he was at the Copa America, so he should be fit. He has been in training. He hasn't played a professional game, though, since the Copa America final, which was, I think, about a month or two ago, because obviously he wasn't involved in any of the PSG games because they knew he was leaving. But we've got our player. It took right till the end of the window. I know people were getting worried. People were saying, what are INEOS doing? Are they going to mess this up? Somebody in the chat saying, I think Fabrizio was asleep when the story broke. Yeah, maybe. Fabrizio won't be happy. He won't be happy that he didn't break that story first. He was, like, I'm not even being funny, right? Obviously, I'm just somebody who brings you news that I found, but take this with a pinch of salt. We technically broke the story before Fabrizio did. That's a fact. If you go and see when this video went live, we were live about 10 minutes before Fabrizio broke the story. And Fabrizio's, he's got 20 million followers on Twitter. So maybe he needs to set his alarm a little bit earlier. I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, I'm joking. I'm having a bit of a laugh, Obviously, Fabrizio Romano is one of the best journalists in world football. And I'm just a man sat in front of his camera talking about football. But you get, I'm just trying to have a bit of fun, Let's see what people are saying in the chat then. Surplus says, do you think we can play Casemiro and Manuel Ugarte together? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, if you wanted to play a lot more defensively, then yeah, probably. Loads of people in the chat are saying we need a left back as well. Let's just focus on this moment, right? We've just signed one of the best central defensive midfielders in the world. We've just signed a player who is a specialist number 6. Fred says, does this mean that Scott McTominay is gone? I would say 99% McTominay's gone, I reckon. McTominay is apparently doing his medical either today or tomorrow. The deal was agreed between Man United and Napoli a couple of days ago. So I imagine we'll probably get McTominay going to do his medical today or tomorrow. And then obviously, as we've said, Manuel Ugarte will be in Manchester today. He's going to do his medical today as a new Manchester United player. So yeah, really, really happy about this. I think it's an incredible deal. How do you guys all feel about this? Like, what impact do you think Manuel Ugarte is going to have on Manchester United this season? Like, what's your expectations going forward now? Let me know where your head is at. I think that with Manuel Ugarte and the signings we've made, we should be going for top 4 now. I think without him, I was pretty hesitant. I think without Manuel Ugarte, top 4 would have been a real struggle, to be honest. But I think we should at least be aiming for 4th now. Obviously, when you look at our team now, right, you've got Lenny Yoro, who will be back in about a month. Obviously, we've got Xerxes, we've got De Ligt, we've got Mazraoui, we've got Manuel Ugarte. Our starting 11 has jumped up a level. And when you consider all the players that we've let go as well, obviously Hannibal left yesterday, McTominay looks like he's going. We should, I think, sign a couple more players before the end of the window. Obviously, Sancho looks like he's going to go. I personally think that we will go for Rabiot, to be honest. Whether that's the right decision or not. Someone says in the chat, what about Kingsley Coman? I don't know. Andrew says, what about Chiesa? I mean, Chiesa is definitely an opportunity on the market. He's available for only 15 million euros. So if anybody missed the story last night, Fabrizio broke a story saying that apparently Liverpool are in talks with Juventus over a 15 million euro deal for Chiesa. I mean, I would take Chiesa for 15 million euros. That is, I'm sorry, but in modern day football, that's pocket change for an attacking player. It's 12 million pounds for a 26-year-old who a couple of seasons ago was probably worth 60, 70 million pounds. I know he's had a couple of bad years. I know he had an injury and all the rest of it, but he still is a good footballer. I would definitely rather Chiesa than Raheem Sterling, 100%. I would probably rather, at this stage, Chiesa than Jadon Sancho, to be honest. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that one. Obviously, the topic of the moment is Manuel Ugarte, who is going to become a Manchester United player. But yeah, I hope everyone is happy in this moment, because I know, a lot of people were starting to get a bit negative. The mood was really, really going downhill for quite a while. And I think, so far, INEOS have done nothing to prove us wrong. Like, everything they've done, all the decisions they've made to this point, I think have been correct. I know some people are still upset about Mason Greenwood, but that's just a completely different matter for a different day. But generally, their ability to clear out this squad, their ability to sign players for their fair market value, I think is really, really clever. And I think our window so far has been really, really decent. Like, we've sold about 15 players now. And obviously with Manuel Ugarte coming in, our midfield goes from like here, I think it goes up a whole level. Ben says, Kieran, does Sterling want to come to Manchester United? Yes, apparently he does. So just quickly on Raheem Sterling. Apparently Sterling is a boyhood Manchester United fan. And apparently Sterling wants to join Manchester United. That's what was reported last night. I don't know. It's difficult. It is really, really difficult to see whether, Raheem Sterling to Manchester United would be something I'd be interested in. I said this on my show yesterday. If we can't get any money for Jadon Sancho, I probably would take Sterling as like an emergency option. But I would never buy Raheem Sterling. Like he probably is never on Manchester United's list. He doesn't fit the wage bill. He's not the right age for Manchester United. We're looking at players around 25 or under. So yeah, for me personally, Raheem Sterling is a no, unless it's like we don't have any other option and it's either we keep Jadon Sancho and he's being toxic, or so we'll wait and see how that one progresses. But the main story is that we've just got the player we wanted. We've just signed the man we want. We've just got Manuel Ugarte. That was the player that people have been banging on about all summer. Manchester United have got their man. And I couldn't be more happy about it. And I know some people will say you were hesitant about Manuel Ugarte, and I was. I had my concerns about Manuel Ugarte, but my biggest concern wasn't his ability. At no point did I question his ability. My concern was that we were overpaying for him. And I think 60 million euros up front is too much money for Manuel Ugarte. But to get him for 50, that shows the world that Manchester United aren't going to be messed around in the transfer market anymore. That shows the world that we can negotiate. We're not a club that's just going to pay whatever you want, like we did under John Murtough, Richard Arnold and Ed Woodward. And it shows the world that going forward, Manchester United should be taken more seriously in the transfer market. We got De Ligt for less than the asking price. We've got Manuel Ugarte for less than the asking price. Mazraoui for less than the asking price. So, I could not be more happier with the window so far. I still think, as I said, we need to sign a couple more players if we're going to take it up to the next level, which is like finishing first or second. But I think the foundation that INEOS have built this summer I think it's unbelievable. I do. And it doesn't mean that we're going to win the Premier League. It doesn't mean that we're going to have immediate success, right? That's not guaranteed in football. You could spend $1 billion and finish sixth, like Chelsea did. Money isn't everything. It's about how you spend the money. It's about bringing in the right players. Andrew says, Kieran, what's your take on why Erik ten Hag doesn't play all the new signings? The thing is, right, everyone has an opinion. Everyone thinks they know better than the manager. My opinion is this. Erik ten Hag is a professional manager who's been doing it for most of his life, or working in football for most of his life. He's on the training ground. How do you know that De Ligt isn't ready to start the game? How do you know that he doesn't need match fitness? He didn't play any games at the Euros and he was injured for quite a large portion of last season. So it's easy for us to say, I know better. De Ligt should be starting. But how do you know better? Are you on the training ground? Do you read the fitness reports? Do you speak to the fitness staff every day? Do you speak to the player themselves? You don't, do you? So I just think you have to trust the manager, trust the players, try and not second guess every single decision that he makes. Because at the end of the day, right, just think about it like this. If Erik ten Hag continually makes bad decisions, he's going to get sacked. It's as simple as that. So why would Erik ten Hag purposely go out and say, De Ligt is ready to play. I don't want to play him, though, because I want Harry Maguire to play. I just think there's more to it in every single situation. But, that's my opinion on it. We've got a super chat coming in from Ant. Ant says, test the water and ask for Cole Palmer for Sancho. Oh, mate, don't you get me excited today. Don't you get me excited. If we went and got Cole Palmer as well, that would be absolutely amazing. Amazing. I would love Cole Palmer. Absolutely love him. And obviously he's a Manchester United fan as well, isn't he? So yeah, I would definitely like to see Cole Palmer. Football 27 says, today is my birthday. Happy birthday, mate. I hope you're doing well. Macmillan says that Hannibal has now passed his medical at Burnley and will sign his contract today. Honestly, I don't want to keep going on about it, but the business that we've done this summer in relation to getting rid of players as well, I know people are like, oh, Maguire's still here, but come on. They've got rid of McTominay. Who genuinely thought at the beginning of this summer that Scott McTominay would be leaving Manchester United? I don't think any of you did, really. You can say you did, but you didn't. Brandon Williams gone. Wan-Bissaka gone, Donny van de Beek gone, Varane gone, Martial gone, Mason Greenwood gone. They've done an incredible job of clearing out this squad. And I think that this is only the beginning for INEOS and only the beginning for Manchester United. And we will only build from here. It's baby steps. Think about it like this. Chelsea, over the last 2 summers, spent $1 billion and they finished 6th. They spent $1 billion badly. So the point I'm making here is, right, we need to be patient. We need to get behind the manager, get behind the players, and get behind INEOS. Because it's not going to be an immediate thing. We're not suddenly just going to go from 8th to 1st. It's going to take time. Arsenal have had Arteta for 6 years, and they've won 1 trophy in 6 years. So, you know, you have to be patient, in my opinion. Obviously, some people I know will lose 1 game and are calling for the manager to be sacked and all the rest of it, but that's obviously, you know, that's up to you. Someone's asking about Chido Obi Martin. Chido Obi Martin's situation's the same. Apparently, it's got to go through some court of law, sport court of law, because of his age. Manchester United have to pay a compensation to Arsenal for the training he's received or something. So yeah, Chido Obi Martin is a Manchester United player. They just can't announce it until they've, you know, got this thing over the line. So let's see what else people are saying in the chat today. We've got over 2,500 people watching now, which is amazing. If you haven't liked the video yet, please go and do that right now, and make sure you subscribe as well. We're literally about to hit 40,000 subscribers, so please go and subscribe. Let's try and hit 40k by the end of today's video. Let's see what else people have got. Mount says, Kieran, do you think we'll sign anyone else? And if so, what position? I think we'll sign another midfielder, I think that Eriksen's going to leave. Obviously, Hannibal's gone. Donny's gone. McTominay's gone. Amrabat's gone. That's 5 midfielders that have left if all of those players leave. And we'll have only signed Manuel Ugarte. I think we need another midfielder. I think it will be Rabiot, personally. Whether that's right or wrong, then that's up for debate. But yeah, I think Rabiot is probably a likely option. I personally think as well we need another attacking player. I really, really do. Like, Højlund, brilliant talent, could go on to be a special player. Xerxes, obviously still at the very beginning of his career. Like, I think he's more of a 9.5, as he says in his own words. I think we need another attacking player, somebody versatile, someone who can operate across the front three, whether that's Chiesa, whether that's Sterling, whether that's, you know, these are just names that I'm throwing out there. I don't know exactly which one I want. Ivan Toney's another option. There are plenty of players available in that attacking area which we could go for. So yeah, I think maybe another midfielder, another attacking player, and maybe a left back would be like my preference. And I think that's realistic as well. I don't think I'm being unrealistic, you know? Like, if we could definitely get Rabiot for free, and we could definitely get another attacking player, I think. Definitely. Or swap Sancho for Sterling, or do something. I do expect us to do a couple more deals before the window ends. But yeah, we'll wait and see how that progresses. Gaminda says that Rabiot will be signed on deadline day to save on wages. Yeah, maybe. Loads of people saying we need a new left back. Yeah, left back. I mean, a left back is a priority position for Manchester United, but if Luke Shaw comes back, then that left back's not going to play. And obviously, Dallow's playing at left back at the moment, and he's doing all right. So, Kenneth says, I hope that Ugarte doesn't get injured between now and Liverpool. I mean, that would be horrible if that did happen. Lord Ashley says, I wonder what the odds are on Ugarte to get a red against Liverpool. Yeah, apparently he does have a bit of a problem with red cards, I read somewhere, but let's have a look. Suspensions. Oh, it's not that bad. He hasn't had that many red cards. But he is a very, very aggressive player, so yeah. Right, I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. I feel like this is a good point to end the video. I'll be back later on today. I didn't really talk about much else today because obviously everyone, you know, the big news is Manuel Ugarte. But have a great day, everybody. I'll be back later on today. Don't forget to drop a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Get in the comment section as well. Once this video is published, get in the comment section and write welcome Manuel Ugarte. Go and do that right now. I'll speak to you later. Bye for now.